like, comment, and subscribe for more content. What's up, everybody? Welcome to this edition of a Funko Popcast, the 1 year anniversary edition of a Funko Popcast. I'm DK Wrestler.
And I'm MD Shady.
And in today's podcast, we got a lot going on. We got the what would be remaining Funko Pop announcements for the month of January 2020. Although we are going to miss some throughout the week as this gets released January 31st, and we are filming this on January 29th. So we may miss 2 days of announcements, but we'll talk about those on next week's podcast. But besides that, we also have the first top 10 list for, I guess, not just the year, but the decade for the January 2020 Funko Pop announcements. Plus, we're bringing back our quarterly segment, TISTICS, to this episode. So let's start off with the first set of Funko Pops that were announced throughout the week, which I had kind of teased on last week's episode. So starting off first, we have ourselves Funko Shop exclusive Wilma Flintstone and Betty Rubble from the Flintstones, which obviously that was released January 22nd at 11 a.m. PST, 2 p.m. EST on the Funko Shop. Pop icons, we got ourselves starting out with Farrah Fawcett, two variants of Marilyn Monroe, which one is just her with her white dress and it's just the normal, like, I guess colored variant, and the other is a black and white variant that will be exclusive to Entertainment Earth. And then we got ourselves a Bill Nye the Science Guy with globe, which it doesn't show on the glam shot that we have here, but it was revealed on the Funko app that this will be a Hot Topic exclusive. Then we got ourselves the one and only Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives host. It's Guy Fieri. Edgar Allan Poe with Skull. Dagobah Yoda, Pop Town with his hut. All of those that I just said are expected to be released as early as April 2020. Boruto, Naruto Next Generations, which we have Sarada Uchiha, Mitsuki, Boruto Ozumaki. Then we got exclusive pops of Sage Mode Mizuki that will be glow in the dark and exclusive to Hot Topic. Hot Gauge Boruto, which will be an AAA anime exclusive with a 1 in 6 yellow glow in the dark chase. So starting out with the Flintstones pops, these are some cool pops. I knew right away when this got announced that this would sell out within minutes, and it did on the Funko Shop, and it's cool that they're adding, so I don't know if there ever has been a Wilma or Betty pop before. Farrah Fawcett looks really cool. The one thing I do like about this pop, and you don't see it on your screen if you're watching this, but you can see on the Funko app that this has actually got a sideways box. A lot of pops, they just stand up, but this one, because it's just kind of doing a pose and all that, it's a sideways box, which is cool. Then the Marilyn Monroe pops. These are great pops. A lot of people have been hyping for some sort of Marilyn Monroe even before the Funko Hollywood exclusive Marilyn Monroe came out. Both these are great in their own way. I know there is a lot more hype towards the Entertainment Earth exclusive just because it also has that kind of 50s, 60s feel. Bill Nye the Science Guy with the globe. It's okay. I mean, the only difference between this one and the common one is just a different sculpt for the one arm. So the original one has a beaker in his hand, and then it's just a different arm mold holding a globe this time for this. But other than that, it's basically the same. Guy Fieri looks phenomenal. He's wearing his classic, like, black with flame shirt. He's wearing shorts, and he's even got the burger in his hand. It's absolutely awesome. This screams out Guy Fieri for sure. Even the hair, absolutely awesome. And even the shades, because he's always wearing shades. I hope in the future they do like a pop rides of Guy Fieri with like his red, like, I don't know what kind of car it would be. The one that he drives in always in like the beginning of Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives. That would be cool. Edgar Allan Poe with Skull. This is pretty cool. I like this one better than the book one. I think it's the New York Comic Con one that was with the book. But I don't think it's better than the one with the Raven. But this one is still pretty cool, especially they made the skull popified. The Pop Town of Dagobah Yoda with his hut. This is cool. A lot of detail within the hut, and even the detail with Yoda himself sitting on a log, and even the little Star Wars base mixing in with the environment that's involved with. And then the Boruto pops. Obviously, I've never seen Naruto, so obviously I wouldn't know of Boruto, but some of these pops look really cool. Like the Hot Topic exclusive glow in the dark, from what the glam shot shows, looks wicked. And even not glow in the dark, the art on like Mizuki's face looks awesome. I don't know how this glow in the dark one will turn out for the triple anime exclusive or triple A anime, but I think it might turn out well because it's like yellow and it's a very vibrant, bright color. So I think it'll turn out pretty decent for glow in the dark, and all the other ones are alright.
Yeah, that chase looks pretty cool, actually. I don't mind that. Normally, a chase like that, it seems just like a cheap way to make a chase, but there are some different details on the pop itself, whereas, like, it looks like football paint underneath his eyes, like you can see on the chase version. They're a lot thicker than what's on the common pop, I'll call it. And then, like, with the cape or whatever that is, there's, like, some details on there. This set is alright in general, in my opinion. I'm not a huge fan of Naruto or Boruto. But my one coworker, he's always watching it every week or whenever it comes out. So as soon as these were announced, I told him about them, and he wants to get the what is it, Sage version of
The Hot Topic exclusive?
yeah.
Yeah, Sage Mode Mizuki.
Sage Mode, that's what it is, Mizuki. Okay, yeah. So yeah, he went and looked at him, and he saw that one. He goes, "Wow, I really want that." So I will probably end up picking him up that pop. Then the Dagobah set with Yoda, it's really great. I mean, this is a weird pop town in my opinion because the hut, in my opinion, looks kind of like small compared to the size of the pop.
Yeah.
Like if those are like accurate photos, because normally when you think of a pop town, like let's say for instance the Up House, like it's huge. But then there is like the SpongeBob house where it's like almost the size of a pop, right? So I think it's all right. But then also you have Yoda and he's like sitting on the log, which is weird. We haven't seen like almost like a deluxe figure come with a pop town, right?
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. Edgar Allan Poe, you said basically all that can be said about this. The Crow version is the best. Or Raven or Crow?
Raven.
Raven. The Raven version is the best. But this is better than the book in my opinion. So I like this pop. Then we have Guy Fieri. This pop, like you said, phenomenal. Anyone could look at this pop and know who it is, and that's the great thing about great pops. And I love how he has the burger, and of course he's got the iconic shirt that he actually doesn't like. He doesn't like those bowling type shirts. If any of you have watched the, I think it was on Hot Ones when he was on there. He was talking about how on his first episode of Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives, they had like a rack of clothes that he had to pick from for what he wanted to wear for that episode, and that was the best thing that was there. And then the producers or whatever thought that he liked those types of shirts, so he picked more shirts like that because that's all that was there to pick. And then fans started sending him like bowling shirts like that, like with his face on it. He was saying how he doesn't even like those types of shirts. He just wears like sweaters and stuff when he's normally doing his thing, right? But that's his iconic look now, so they nailed it. I think that pop's great. Bill Nye. I kind of wish I would have waited to get my Bill Nye because I kind of like this one more than the original, but I'm not going to get this one because I don't think there's a point because they're so similar. Then the Marilyn Monroe. This is one of those pops where it's like Funko's listening to the podcast and they want to know our opinions. This is exactly what I wanted with these two Marilyn Monroes. Her iconic pose where she's over the, what would it be called? Like
a ventilation.
a ventilation system in the sidewalk, right? And everyone knows this pose if you know Marilyn Monroe. And I think it's great that they did a black and white version as well. The Farrah Fawcett is really good as well. I like the pose, except I'm not a huge fan of the sideways box pops. That's because it's very hard to display them in a good manner. It's almost like an OCD thing where like you have all these pops and they're standing up straight and then you have these sideways ones and you kind of have to like put them together. This one is an exception though because this is a one-off pop. Like it's not to complete like a set of like Farrah Fawcett pops. Whereas like let's say with the Dark Crystal, you have all these stand-up pops, and then you have Ursula the Enchanter or whatever, and that's a sideways pop. So you can't really display it with the rest of your pops, especially if you have your setup the way that I do mine. And then the Flintstones ladies. This is great, and yeah, they haven't had pops for some reason, and I don't understand why. There's so many different Fred and Barneys, and there's like Dinos, and there's like
there's
all
a ton
like
of
the
Dinos.
saber-tooth tiger, whatever his name is. Like, there's so many different Flintstones pops. Why haven't they done them yet? I think it's great that they have them out, and I wish they were common, but Flintstone stuff usually does have some exclusiveness to it, right? So Flintstones has been a hot commodity for a while with Funko, so it makes sense.
So now moving on we got ourselves, you'll see 4 photo collages on your screen, but it'll be 5 different pops that we will be talking about right now. So starting off, announced January 24th up until January 25th, we have ourselves starting first a Funko Shop exclusive released at 11 a.m. PST, 2 p.m. EST, January 24th. The first of many pops for the new set called Pop Around the World, which basically it'll be like an animal of a certain country dressed up in an attire that goes with it. Which this one is Barkingham, which is a bulldog dressed in like, I don't know what do they call them, like officers or whatever, like of the UK. I don't know what they're called. They're not. I don't know if they're officers. I don't think they are, but
They're the people that people when touring like the UK always try to bug them and try to make them like smile or flinch or whatever, but they stay put.
and also with these, if you were, I think, involved with the first 2,000 people that ordered this online, you were able to get the free passport book, which you can also buy that separately if you weren't the first 2,000, which,
Oh, okay.
because with this, if you see, I'll actually, you know what, I'll mention it after though. Then we got ourselves an FYE exclusive Electra for the Marvel 80th anniversary lineup, which that is available now. We have the second of 6 Amazon exclusive Avengers Assemble Pop Deluxes. This one is Hulk, which that is expected to be released as early as March 2020. Then we got ourselves a couple of Pop and Tea combos. The first one being a Mandalorian Pop and Tea combo, which we have the Death Watch Mandalorian that has no stripes on this one. And obviously, like I said, Pop and Tea combo. And it will be an EB Games / GameStop exclusive. And that will be expected to be released as early as March 2020. Then we have another My Hero Academia Pop and Tea combo. This one is Tenya Ida, and that will also be an EB Games / GameStop exclusive, and that's expected to be released as early as April 2020. So, I'm going to go back to the Barkingham. Like I was mentioning about the whole passport thing, with these pops, you can see on the glam shot, they come with a pin. And so there's like a bunch of pops that are coming out with this set, and I don't know all of them all that well. I know off the top of my head, there's going to be one called Douglas, which is a beaver dressed up as a Mountie, and that'll be for Canada. And there is a koala bear named Ozzy, and that'll be for Australia. That's another one off the top of my head. Basically, there's going to be like, I think 11 or 12 of them. And with the passport books, each pop that you get, you put the pin in this passport. So it's almost like you bought the pop. Or like, the way I felt maybe they could have done it, but maybe not, is if they had made these specific country pops like exclusive to that country. So it's almost like you're traveling across the world to kind of get them. But I know a lot of people who hated the fact that you got this pop that is specifically for the UK and you can only purchase it in the US, which is kind of weird to me. Really, you actually can only get it there because even pop culture in Australia, which is known for shipping out to like the UK and Australia and most of Europe, they didn't get a shipment of this and they couldn't ship it out. So it was only Funko shops. So it's going to be hard for any UK fans wanting this pop. Electra, pretty cool. I'm kind of glad they made Electra. I think it's one of those characters that like Funko never did yet, but like a lot of people were waiting for it, and now it's out, which is an FYE exclusive. The Avengers Assemble Hulk. This is okay. I think what makes up for this pop though, because a lot of people for some reason don't like the face. Like they think there's something going on with the mouth that like it doesn't scream out Hulk and that looks weird. But I don't know. To me it looks fine. I think what really makes up this pop is that there basically is like imprints on the ground because you know Hulk, he's a big guy, so when he jumps on the ground, then like it makes an imprint into the gravel and there's like holes on the ground, which that's really cool about this. Do I think it's better than the Iron Man? No, but do I think this is going to sell well? Yes, considering I'm pretty sure a lot of people are going to want to complete that 6 pop set to do the whole Avengers Assemble circle.
Yeah.
The Pop and Tea combos, I'll mention both of them right now. So, both of the shirts are really cool out of these Pop and Tea combos. They are really well done. For a while, I couldn't understand what the difference was between the two Death Watch Mandalorians because if you remember when they announced the Mandalorian set that was recently, actually last month, there is another Death Watch Mandalorian that's going to be by itself and also exclusive to EB Games / GameStop, and I didn't understand what the whole two stripe thing is, and it's kind of hard to tell in this photo, but if you look at the original one, there's two stripes on the leg. Like there's these two white stripes, but on this one there's no stripes on it. That's what it means by no stripes. And they kind of brought back, and I might think this could be like a Star Wars tradition ever since the Kylo Ren pop and tee, where they made it look like a pop box for the actual box. I think the box for the My Hero Academia one looks pretty solid, and even the pop, like, I think both these are pretty cool in their own way.
Yeah, the t-shirt for the My Hero Academia is actually a really nice t-shirt. Especially, like, this t-shirt screams pop vinyl to me, so that's cool. And the box, it's alright. I've seen better boxes. That box is alright. Then we move on to the Mandalorian pop tee combo, and I really hope what you said about this being like a Star Wars tradition for these boxes is correct, because when we talked about that Kylo Ren pop and tee combo, I believe I said, let's make this the only pop and tee combo where the box looks like a pop vinyl box.
Yeah.
Because it's cool to see once, but one of my favorite things about these pop and tee combos is how cool some of the boxes can be. So if it's just Star Wars, I can live with it. But I don't like seeing that. But the t-shirt looks amazing. I love this t-shirt. Then the Hulk, I don't see why people are mad with the face. I think that face is perfect. If anything, I don't like the body as much as I like the head. I feel like the body is like lacking a little bit in detail. Like I think maybe like his muscles should be a little more like defined. And then also if you look at it'd be his left arm, but the arm that's on the right looks like it's like a separate piece that's molded on there.
Yeah.
Which I don't really like. But besides that, this is great. I can't wait to hopefully get all 6 of these and put them together. Then with Electra, it's weird how you say this is like the first pop that she's had, because I feel like I've seen this pop before. Like it seems like one that maybe came out like a year ago or like a year and a half ago. Like it's weird, but it is a nice looking pop. I'll give it that. And then with these Pop Around the World pops, I can't wait for these. These are really cool. You kind of startled me a bit when you said that the first 2,000 get the passport, because I thought, damn, there's going to only be 2,000 passports and I'm not going to be able to get one. But if you can buy one, that's good with me. I really hope I can collect all these pops because I think it's such a great idea. Good job, Funko.
So, moving on now, and this will actually be the last set of pops we talk about this week before we move on to our top 10 list for the month of January 2020. We have ourselves announced by Wizarding World. We have a Wizarding World exclusive pre-release of a Hermione Granger Otter variant of Patronus. This was announced January 27th, and this will be available February 4th on wizardingworld.com to the public, but if you have a gold membership with Wizarding World, you'll be able to purchase this on February 3rd. Followed by, we have some more golf pops here. We have 2 here in which we have Jack Nicklaus, and the other one is Arnold Palmer, and those are expected to be released as early as April 2020. Announced by Fanatics and released that same day on January 28th, we have a Fanatics exclusive Overwatch League Tracer. Then announced on the Funko app, we have ourselves a metallic variant of Android 16, Walmart exclusive, and announced on the Funko app, King Gold, Dragon Ball Z pop. Then last but not least, the last pop that we'll talk about this week, which actually I'd say it's a really good ending to this podcast for talking about pop-wise. We have ourselves Milton the Toaster, the pop ad icon for Pop-Tarts, which released today as we film this, which is January 29th. That will be released at 11 a.m. PST, 2 p.m. EST, which actually, as I look at my clock,
It's 3 minutes ago.
It's 3 minutes ago.
Is it sold out yet? Probably.
I actually want to check that out in a little bit, maybe as I explain these pops. So, let's talk about these pops. So, starting off with the Patronus, that looks really cool. The Patronus pop of Hermione, assuming now that after we've seen the Harry Potter Patronus in, like, the deer.
Yep.
And then hopefully we're going to see more. But this looks cool from what I'm looking at. And it's not really like the greatest quality of like photo because this was taken like screenshotted from a different photo. But this looks cool from what I'm looking at. The golf pops, they're pretty cool. I find that always like, oh, okay, never mind actually. After looking at Arnold Palmer. Because I was going to say, especially with Tiger Woods, like, in my opinion, him and Jack Nicklaus look like they have, like, mini putters or, like...
They're putters.
Yeah, more putters, while Arnold Palmer has, like, a driver.
Yeah.
which that's cool. The Arnold Palmer kind of, I guess, going back to sports pop, this is like the refreshing part. Even though there's only been 3 golf pops now,
Yeah.
it's refreshing so far. I mean, maybe in the near future they could have like a pop moments of like Tiger Woods just hole
Or
in
like
one or something,
doing,
or
I can't remember if on his, like, if he has his like fist out like this. He must. I'm pretty sure it is like that on the first one. So
but yeah, something cool like that. But yeah, these are okay. Then the Tracer. The one thing that's very odd about this, like the pop itself is pretty cool, but the thing that's very odd is that Fanatics, a sports store, has an Overwatch pop. I find that really odd.
So I'll just kind of break that down right now. For in what I think is the reasoning for it is because I'm pretty sure that esports are now classified as actual sports. So if you're an esporter, like online video gaming competitively, it's now classified as like an actual active sport.
Okay. Overwatch League. Do you know the difference between Overwatch League and just Overwatch?
So Overwatch League is basically their esports thing. So what this tracer is, it's a variant like skin for that team. So
Okay.
I'm not sure exactly what team it is or if that's just like the general one for Overwatch League, but basically what it is like if let's say I'm on team geez, I forget what the teams are, but they're like different universities or colleges that have different teams.
Okay.
So let's say if it was one for our local college, it would be like a blue and white skin
Okay.
on the character, right?
All
So
right. That's not bad. The Dragon Ball Z pops. Now, the metallic looks very well on the suit of Android 16. I don't know how I feel about the hair though. And sometimes I do like to credit a lot of Dragon Ball Z pops with metallic hair being very good. But I think like with this hair it looks weird. Like especially maybe because this kind of dark orange color looks weird. Unlike it'd probably be like Kamehameha Goku, who had this really nice royal blue that looked very well, but this orange looks weird. That's probably it. And then the bird looks cool, metallic. It brings out kind of the colors a bit. And this King Cold Pop, obviously I don't watch Dragon Ball Z all that much, but there's a lot of detail in this, and this looks really, really cool. And then Milton the Toaster, I popped huge this morning when I woke up, wanting to post about whatever the Funko Shop exclusive of the day is. And I'm like, Pop Tarts? This is one of those instances you think of a bunch of ad icons and you're like, man, they could do this, you can do, but like Pop Tarts? Like, I don't think that crossed really anyone's mind. It was
yeah.
a huge surprise. I can't even tell right now what flavor Pop Tarts are in Milton that are pop. Like I feel like it's would it be the normal like mixed berry or strawberry with like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's got like the sprinkles, but this looks really cool. With the way this turns out, even though it's not related to specifically ad icons or Pop Tarts, but hoping that one day they're gonna make Brave Little Toaster Funko Pops. What do you gotta say about these pops?
Yeah, so I actually really like Hermione's otter there. It looks cool, but yeah, it has this effect on the photo, so I really want to see what the pop looks like, an actual photo of it, right? But just looking at that, it looks really cool and it's pretty cute too. Then we have Jack Nicholas and Arnold Palmer. I was very excited to see these pops because I have the Tiger Woods pops and I recently just got into golfing and these are two of the greats as well as obviously Tiger Woods. I really like the Arnold Palmer, not just because of the driver, which is good, but he's also one of those big names in golf that a lot of people do know. These are great. I can't wait to get these. I hope they come out with more. And then the Overwatch League Tracer. I'm so far behind on Overwatch Pops now. It's sad because I was so good with it. I was so up to date. I was getting all the exclusives. And I think what it was that threw me off was the Halloween Pops that they did back in like 2017, I think it was. I couldn't get my hands on them, and then my one buddy had two of each of them because Funko ended up screwing up, and like he ordered one of each because there was two different pops you could get, and he got four pops, like two of each. And then like I was gonna buy them off of him, and then like it didn't end up working out, and I don't think he has them anymore. I think he ended up selling them to somebody else. So like I'll have to get them somewhere else now. But the whole point is that I'm falling behind on Overwatch pops, and here's another one, and it's gonna be harder to get. But I think it's a good pop. The Tracer is obviously their mascot, so it's cool that they would make it of her, and we got a couple cool stickers on the box too, which is nice, and it's overall it's a great pop. Then with the Dragon Ball Z pops, there's not a whole lot to be said. They're Dragon Ball Z pops. Dragon Ball Z pops never fail to impress most people. Like Dragon Ball Z pops are like it's obviously a 2D animation, so they're not super detailed, but then these characters do have a lot of detail, so they end up turning out to be great pops, and I think that's exactly what happened here. And then with Milton the Toaster, I also popped hard huge for this, but I've never even heard of this mascot before.
That's probably why it was super surprising.
Yeah. I don't know if he's more of a newer, like maybe the last 10 years, or like 5 years for that matter.
I heard he was like, it's the mascot from the 70s
Oh,
Pop Tart
really?
commercials.
So they probably cut that off, eh? And they haven't really done that anymore. But also, like, I can't even remember when the last time I've seen a Pop Tart commercial was. But I think this pop's great. I'm gonna have to find a way to get it because I love me some ad icons.
We are now moving on to the first top 10 list of 2020 for the month of January, which I'm super excited about this. We are actually implementing a new rule into these top 10 lists, which MD and I had already discussed. So we are going to present you with a top 10 list, but it won't be added to our what we're going to call Poptistics list, which we're going to get to that segment in a bit, until February 1st, where we have time for the 30th and the 31st to look at Funko Pop announcements, and we can decide whether we want to add those. We don't have to agree with what we present to you if we don't want to, but we will update you guys next week to show you guys whether we've kept our top 10 list as we told you guys or we've updated it a bit.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So,
because there are a lot of times where we miss out on one or two pops where it's like that pop alone, like if we would have waited a couple days to film, would have very much affected the
yeah, like
list.
I can remember twice now. Like in August, I definitely would have added the Chester Cheetah Pop to my top 10 list. And I even thought, like, this is what made me decide to do this is last month, where New Year's Eve, out of all days, Funko announces the Mandalorian Wave 2 lineup, which I definitely would have added, like, 2 or 3 pops from just that set alone to add to the top 10 list for December. So, we're going to bring you with the segment with Poptistics, which, for those that might not know...
Oh, we're doing Poptistics now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Any new listeners. Poptistics is kind of like the statistics of our top 10 lists, and basically what to kind of expect for our top 10 list that we've done the last year now, since it is the 1 year anniversary. So we've done 12 of these already. Starting out the first one, that 55.8% of the time a pop that appears on the list will be an exclusive pop. So exclusives have shown up more on our top 10 list than commons have, which is understandable because there are a lot of cool exclusive pops.
Yeah.
61.7% of the time between both of our lists, pops will be different on each list. So 61.7% of the time, there will be more different pops on mine and MD Shady's list than there would be the same pops that appear on both lists, is what I'm trying to get at. 39 out of 240 pops, which that 240 comes from the fact that it would be 120 different pops technically presented in the past 12 months from each of our lists put together, so it would add up to 240 pops. So 39 out of 240 pops that have been listed in both of our lists have been convention exclusive pops, whether they have been shared to a retailer or exclusive to the con itself, and it's for all conventions. The second most, actually, we always like to do that, so the second most is from the Funko Shop, which 19 out of 240 pops have shown up as Funko Shop exclusives with our lists. 190 out of 240 pops, or very specific, 79.2% of the time, it will be a normal 3.75 singular pop that will show up in our top 10 list, which is understandable because most pops released are your normal 3.75 inch pops. But the second most is 2 packs with 9. 29 out of 240 pops that have been between both of our lists have been from the Pop Television lineup, when the second most for lineups is Disney with 26. So yeah, that is your Poptistics for this quarter, which I only do them 4 times a year, one in January, one in April, one in July, and the last one in October, just because I feel you'll get more different results doing them quarterly than rather monthly.
Yeah, because it's not going to change.
It's not going to change too much within every month. So we are going to start off our top 10 list now, in which, like usual, we start off with MD Shady, and we will kick off with his number 10.
My number 10 is Oodles. If you guys don't know exactly what that is, it's the ramen noodles from the Spastic Plastic lineup. I think this pop's great. DK thinks this pop is great, and even like I showed my mom a picture and she thought it was a really cool pop too. It's a great pop that I would have never even thought of seeing like a thing of ramen noodles.
Fact about this pop, and I'm more than certain this is a true fact. The first and only Fantastic Plastic Pop that sold out the day it got released.
Yeah.
My number 10 is the Funko Shop exclusive Milton the Toaster. Now, personal reaction was through the roof, which is why I added this pop on the list. This was super surprising. It got that surprise element that I always like. It's very simplistic. It's very cool, which is why I basically added it. But I know the hype is going to be there for this because it is an ad icon. So that's why Milton the Toaster right at number 10.
All right, on to my number 9. This is a pop that I wanted to see, so I added it to the list at number 9, and that is Marilyn Monroe, Entertainment Earth exclusive, the black and white Marilyn Monroe. It adds that effect of it being an older style pop, and it gets the point across, and it's a very iconic scene, or photo, I guess, in general, and I love this pop, and it had to make my list.
My number 9 is also the Entertainment Earth exclusive black and white Marilyn Monroe. And
that might be a pop-tistic right there. Never have we ever had a number 9 position be the
that's
same.
right. We've had number 1 being the same, number 2 the same, and we've had a number 6 the same. But I don't really have to say much because I think you've basically brought the point across of how this deserves to be on a top 10 list. But I can say that I definitely think fans were hyping more for the black and white over the common one.
Okay.
Even though both of them are great pops.
Yeah.
So, MD Shady's number 8.
My number 8, the Hot Topic exclusive Venomized Green Goblin. Such a great detailed pop. Looks so good. I love the Green Goblin. I love these Venomized pops. They look really cool, and putting both of them together I think just makes so much sense. And there's so much detail, especially with the glider, and like even the pumpkin in his hand is Venomized, and that's just like a bomb. So great, so great. What an awesome pop.
My number 8, as seen during London Toy Fair reveals, it's Wallace from Wallace and Gromit. So good. It's simplistic, but it's got the detail where it's almost like exactly what the character looks like due to being a claymation series, and it's practically almost the perfect pop. And also the hype was super up on this during London Toy Fair reveals. So that's why it definitely made it above Marilyn Monroe and Milton the Toaster.
So I'm on to number 7, and this pop, this should be no surprise for you that this is on my top 10 list for the month. That is Lil Sweet from the At Icons collection of pops, and that's for Dr. Pepper. In this case, it's Dr. Pepper Diet. I actually recently just seen my first ever Lil Sweet commercial, and he's a cool character. I love him. I love Ad Icons, and I love Dr. Pepper. So DK shouldn't be surprised that this is on my list in some point. It looks super accurate to the commercial, and that's what makes it a really good pop.
My number 7, once again, it is a London Toy Fair reveal pop. It's Baby Sinclair from Dinosaurs. Now, definitely this had the most hype out of all the dinosaur pops, although when it comes to like super amount of detail, I definitely would have agreed with you for what you said last week, and that like Earl Sinclair has like the most detail out of all of them. But all those not the mama comments, that's definitely towards, I guess it could be towards both Earl and Baby Sinclair, but I think mostly Baby Sinclair because Baby Sinclair is the one who says not the mama.
He's the fan favorite character. He always has been.
So my personal reaction was a little up on this, but not too much. Like the next 6, my personal reaction's more up on it than Baby Sinclair is.
Alrighty. On to number 6. My number 6 was also a London Toy Fair reveal. It is Eazy-E. I think this pop is, again, so accurate to the person it's portraying. The Compton hat is on. He's got the sunglasses. He's wearing like the all black with his signature black jacket, and the hair looks really good as well. I can't wait to own this pop.
My number 6, London Toy Fair reveal once again, and it is the training Luke Skywalker and Yoda. This pop is absolutely awesome. The way they portrayed it, the way that they made the stand like goes with the environment, just like the Dagobah Pop Town that we talked about a little bit earlier. And also, once again, I love when you can buy just a singular 3.75 inch pop, and it's kind of a 2-for-1 deal because you got Luke Skywalker and you got a little tiny Yoda that is on Luke Skywalker's back. Very detailed. I think it's very great.
Cool.
It's time. It's time. Top 5. Kick the music right now. I'm probably gonna be off to when I edit this. Can you dig it? Suck up! Fireworks. And MD Shady's number 5.
So my number 5, I'm going to guess right now, is probably DK's number 1 on his list. That's my guess. And that is the previews exclusive Iron Man. What can be said about this pop? It's almost like a pop deluxe. It's such an iconic moment. It looks so good, so much detail, and it lights up. What more can you ask for, like, a normal pop? It's so sweet. I need to watch the movie still, and I also need to get this pop because this is really, really cool.
My number 5, in which I don't know if this is going to be MD's number 1, but I'm going to say that it's going to be pretty damn close to it, and that is Mr. Drive-In. I keep botching the thing. Guy Fieri. I'm not even saying So Guy Fieri, like I said earlier, practically a spot on of Guy Fieri himself. Shirt looks good. The glasses is a very nice touch. Even the hair is awesome. Definitely a cop-up for anyone who wants to complete their icons lineup or even is a huge fan of Guy Fieri or even knows of Guy Fieri and they want to just kind of have a big collection of pops. Let's move on to MD Shady's number 4.
So my number 4 is Quavo. He's got the gold glasses, which looks really nice. He's got like all of his signature chains on, all the bling on his hands and wrists, and his outfit in general looks really good. For anyone who knows rap music, you could tell that it's Quavo. These Migos pops are all really good, but Quavo in my mind just stands out a little bit more than Offset and Takeoff.
My number 4, Darth Vader in Meditation Chamber Pop Deluxe. This thing is so freaking detailed. It is absolutely awesome the way they've portrayed it. I can't wait to see this in person, and I'm definitely going to be copping up and getting this because this looks awesome and it'll go well with my other Darth Vader pops I have as pertains to all the categories I look for my top 10, whether it's detail, hype, personal reaction, and even maybe a surprise element a little bit. Nailed on the coffin. And these next 3, they are great. Let's move on to top 3.
So on to my number 3, and that is the Buddy Holly version of Rivers Cuomo from Weezer. This is, of course, as I said, it's the Buddy Holly version, so in the music video, he's kind of dressed up to look more like Buddy Holly rather than himself, and the guitar, there's so much detail with the stickers on it. His outfit alone, it looks just like the music video, and it's so good to see Weezer pop.
All right, my number 3, and it's a crossover. It is the Hot Topic exclusive Venomized Green Goblin. Just like MD said, super detailed. They basically venomized everything involved with this pop. Even the pumpkin bomb, the glider is venomized, and even the glider has its own venomized logo on it, which is what I love about that. Definitely the best venomized pop. I'm not going to say venomized pop of all time, but definitely venomized pop of this wave and the last wave. Let's move on to MD's top 2.
Okay, so my number 2 is a Lennon Toy Fair reveal, like most of these. It is Earl Sinclair from Dinosaurs. I think this is the better pop out of the set, or I should say the best, because there are 5 pops in this set. I just think it looks so much like Earl Sinclair. I love how the mouth turned out, because they could have easily done a bad job on it. But it looks so much like when you watch the show, and there is a lot of detail on this pop. The whole set is phenomenal, so it's hard to single one out from the rest of them, but I think Earl Sinclair is just, it's a thing of beauty. It really is, and I'm so hyped over these dinosaur pops. I love them.
My number 2, Corey Taylor, even though that this is a concept art, which is basically why it did not make it number 1, because you never know when Funko releases a concept art, whether it's going to be as great as the concept art looks, or it's going to be totally opposite and super freaking terrible. But, I don't know, I feel like with Pop Rocks Pop, they usually pull off great pops, so The fact that they made Slipknot pops was a huge surprise because a lot of people were wanting Slipknot for such a long time and it wasn't even rumored. You know, it's got that surprise element, the detail, the hype, personal reaction. It's just the fact that it's a concept art. That's the only reason that this is not number one on my list. Now we're finally making it to number one on MD Shady's list. What is it?
I'm assuming you could probably guess what it is. I mean, you kind of already have. That is Triple D Guy Fieri. So great. This is one of those pops where I never would have thought of this pop, and I don't know why, because he is a huge influencer on my life. I am a cook one day hoping to be a chef, and it's basically mostly because of Guy Fieri, watching his show as a kid. His shows, because he has multiple. There's some other cooks, of course, and chefs that have obviously influenced me to become one myself, but Guy Fieri is that one that has always stood out in my mind, and they nailed this pop, and of course they got him with a burger. It's so good. The hair looks phenomenal. There's a nice hue, like a gradient hue from the frosted tips down to the darker parts of the base of his hair. He's got his signature sunglasses on. He has the jewelry on, the iconic shirt, the shorts, the sneakers. I couldn't think of another way to do a Guy Fieri pop unless they one day do a variant version with maybe a different shirt on and maybe give us a no sunglasses one.
Number one on my list, whatever you said was my number one, totally wrong. My number one is the Funko Shop exclusive Gold Diamond Collection Troll.
I thought so, actually. I was thinking about it. Once we got down to number 3, I was like, you know what? That gold troll was actually really good. He might have picked that.
Yeah. So why I picked the troll? Because boom! Done! Dust! Dust! It is the glow-in-the-dark previews exclusive. I am Iron Man pop. You're damn right this is my number one because this is phenomenal. So good. Sorry, that would be an understatement. So great. Maybe that's an understatement too. So awesome. Because, holy crap, Funko blew up the internet with this pop. We never thought that they were actually going to fix the mistake of that New York Comic Con, at this point, piece of garbage, even though it was still a pretty cool pop. And the bruises, the blood, the battle damage suit, the fact that the stones also glow in the dark, the fact they made it even glow in the dark and they made it extra special, and it's previews exclusive, so it's going to be, even though it's an exclusive, it's going to show up at our local retailers. Awesome! So pumped! So pumped! It's so good, so great, so awesome. So much hype towards this. I know that this definitely has around 5,000 comments throughout social media. The detail is amazing, like I just said. My personal reaction, as you can tell by my voice right now, so good, so great, so awesome. It's just amazing and a huge surprise element. It's even got a little ground with it, so it could be a Pop Deluxe, but it's not. It's going to be a 3.75 inch, and it's going to be amazing. The number one pop, for sure, I am Iron Man. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. That is the end of our podcast for this week, our 1-year edition of a Funko Popcast. If you enjoyed listening to this podcast, smash that like button to let us know that you enjoy the content that is being provided to you through this podcast and through this channel. Comment in the comments section below on what your favorite pops of the month of January 2020. And let us know, actually, did you like MD Shady's list or did you like DK Wrestler's list better between the two lists? Let us know. I kind of want to know. And press that subscribe button for more content like this podcast and other videos we post on this channel in the future. And press the little notification bell beside it to be notified of when future content gets released on this channel. Thank you all for listening, and see you guys next week on a Funko Podcast. 1, 2, 3, I'm out of here!
Thanks for a great year, guys. Peace in, peace out.